going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into the channel. I'm Mr. Mandalorian, and I got an awesome figure review for you here from the Black series. We're going to be taking a look at number 17, as you can see, in the Clone Wars subline. And we're going to be taking a look at Vizsla. And the one downside that everybody was really disappointed about this figure was that this is on the old Jango mold. This is a 10-year-old mold from when the line, back from when the line was first getting its roots and stuff and first starting. So articulation is definitely very limited. This figure is known for having a tough time standing and dealing with the counterweight of the jetpack on the back with smaller sized feet and stuff like that. But just looking at it from in the box, it looks terrific. The paint looks really nice on it. The face sculpt is pretty cool. I'm digging it, and mural work is awesome. As you can see, Maul right there in the back. It's pretty cool. But the blue color on the front of his Mandalorian armor looks really sick. Very popping blue. Very much catches your eye. And another thing about this clone, I just love this Clone Wars packaging. I just love that yellow so much. I really dig that yellow. But he's got a good bit of accessories. He comes with the Darksaber, which is until the Glavis Ring World Mando came out, this is probably the best one that I've seen in my opinion, just because of the way that the white really pops on it. But the new Glavis Ring World Mando, I believe the Darksaber is more accurate and the handle is slightly longer than the one that comes, the one here that comes with Vizsla. And if you never watched Clone Wars, you're really missing out. It's got a lot of awesome Star Wars lore that adds behind the scenes and stuff like that, kind of ties things together very nicely. But he was in the Mandalorian arc, and he was voiced by Jon Favreau, which is, you know, everybody knows he's the writer of Mandalorian. He's kind of the reason that came about. And season 1 and 2 of that is absolutely superb for Star Wars. It really brought the hype back for Star Wars. I'm gonna stop this right here so y'all can just get a front look of the figure. But yeah, Jon Favreau, he basically started the MCU with Iron Man in 2008. Made one of the best Christmas movies of all time, Elf, with Will Ferrell, and very known Christmas movie. He's a very good director. And anyways, as I was saying, he was actually the voice actor for Vizsla in the Clone Wars, and just did a terrific job. I really enjoyed the character, Vizsla's character, and I don't want to say too much, but you know, Maul pretty much, him and Maul have an encounter, and I'll leave it at that. If you haven't watched, technically I wouldn't be spoiling, but I'm not gonna say it, I reckon. But yeah, got some awesome accessories. He comes with 2 Mandalorian blasters, the very nice white popping white Darksaber, his helmet, of course, and also his jetpack. So I'm gonna get this dude out of the box, crack him open, and get him on the stand and get a closer look. And here's Vizsla on the stand, and I gotta say, you know, minus the articulation that comes with this figure, it is a very old mold. Come out in 2016 or 15, whenever Jango came out. This is the old Jango body. This is also the body that they use for the Mandalorian Loyalist and the Mandalorian Super Commando. And I really wish they would have put Vizsla on the new Death Watch body. That Mando is absolutely amazing. Articulation is superb, very lifelike. The proportions are very nice. Articulation's amazing, very good paint apps. And it's just very lifelike. It looks like somebody's wearing the armor. But I gotta say, dude, this figure, just standing here, like, he looks freaking dope, man. He looks awesome. I can't even lie to you. And as much as I've heard about how hard a time it is to get this figure standing up, you know, it's not the best. Small feet, very top heavy with the jetpack. But I can say, dude, it really didn't give me that much trouble. For the longest time, I held off from this figure because people were talking so bad, because I don't own the old Jango body. I don't own the old Jango figure, I should say. So I was really turned off from buying it. It really turned me away from getting this figure. And then my wife actually bought this for me. She was at Target and FaceTimed me and, you know, was showing me the aisle and whatnot. And I told her not to worry about it. Well, sure enough, she shows up when I get home from work, and she got off work and gave this to me. So Shout out to my amazing, beautiful wife for getting this to me. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. I love you. But man, dude, it's not that bad, man. Like the sculpt work, other than the bad articulation of the mold itself, the sculpt is not that bad. The creases on the pants look very nice. His armor, the paint on it looks very good. The sculpting of the gauntlets and the belt and the jetpack, I really, really dig it. That blue on the front of his chest plate just really pops and pulls your attention. Very cool that they did a new mold for the jetpack. I really dig that. Very clean paint apps, very clean red and blue, and I'll get a closer look at that in a minute. And I just love the Darksaber. That vibrant white pop looks very good. He does have double trigger fingers and 2 horizontal hinges on both right and left hand. And double jointed pin knees, so you can get some good articulation at the legs besides these small feet. But I got him to stand here with not much issue. People were talking about you'd have to like hunch him over to get him to stand, and I didn't have to do that, dude. Like that looks pretty straight up to me. It doesn't look like he's leaning at all to me. And now, granted, mind you, I haven't tried to put him into a dynamic pose yet, and I can already see where the awkwardness is going to come. Just standing here though, just like this, he looks fantastic, dude. I love it. I really dig it. And, this may be if you do plan on getting this figure, maybe go ahead and have a couple figure stands ready or a flight stand. Just keep that in mind. But I'm going to do a couple side-by-sides, maybe even put him on one of my flight stands just to see how he looks, and we'll go from there. And to go ahead and start things off here with accessories, here's Vizsla's blaster. We do get 2 of these. This is the, damn it, Westar 35. This is the Westar 35 blaster pistol, which is used by Vizsla, and as well, this is the same mold that comes with the Mandalorian Loyalist and the Super Commando. So you'll see that same. Sorry for my hands calluses from weightlifting and working. But, yeah, very nice. Here is Vizsla's helmet. Little speck of paint missing right there. Not bad, though. A little gloss to it. His signature antennas. That looks nice. Nice sculpting right here on the back. Looks very nice. Like the silver color. I don't know. Okay, I was about to say, I don't know why my nails look yellow. I promise they're clean. That looked weird up close. I promise they're clean. So just don't pay attention to that. And this is actually a new mold. I figured since they was on the Django body, they would send, they would just do it with Django's jetpack. But they actually made a completely new mold. New sculpt. Throw some peg blast effects, flame effects in there from the Return of the Jedi Django or the Dark Trooper. Very nice detail in here. The red and white's very cleanly applied. Some cool sculpting. Do the pegs. Plugs into his back. Very nice. So there's jetpack, and finally, here's the Darksaber. And that white just really pops, man. I know the one that the Darksaber that comes with Moff Gideon, it's got the edge has a slightly more clear, transparent look to it, so it's kind of got more of a maybe like an energy type look feel to it. But I just really dig this, like how vibrant and popping that white is. It just looks great. Very nice. And the handle here. And this one is actually a little bit shorter than the one that comes with the new Mandalorian Glavis Ringworld Mando. But yeah, it's very nice. And then finally on to Vizsla himself. And the one thing I can say is I kind of wish they doled out. That looks a little too fresh to me. Doesn't really look, I don't know. It's kind of like I get it's a scar because Vizsla does have a scar there on his face. But I just feel like I wish they would have done it not as fresh looking. I mean, we kind of matted it a little bit. But I do dig the face sculpt. face sculpt looks pretty nice. Hasbro's just getting more and more real and lifelike with these figures, man. Those blue eyes. The beard shadow looks good. The shaved head. Nothing fancy. Just a buzzed cut. Really dig the blue here on the front of the figure. On the front of his armor. Looks pretty damn accurate to my memory of how that insignia on his armor. So the sculpt itself is not bad. It's just limited. The sculpt, this is an awesome looking figure. Got his hoses coming from the gauntlets, holsters. So going ahead and starting off. This is where we're getting into the nitty gritty. This is where it sucks. I believe Django came out. This is the Django Fett body mold. I believe he came out in like 2016 or 2017. So the mold is very limited. See, like you can see here. Let me zoom in real quick. Or not zoom in, but focus. Very short joint. And you're done. That's as much as you get right there. So not even 90 degrees. And pretty much the same story on the oh, you know what? This has got gauntlet swivel? I didn't know that. It sure does. Wow. But same thing right here. Very, very limited. Not even 90. So, did not realize that this figure actually had gauntlet swivel. It sure damn does, too. Okay. That side, too. And we also have elbow bot. Well, yeah, elbow swivel. So elbow swivel on both sides. We got a horizontal hinge here. We have another horizontal hinge on the left hand as well. Now we can get a full T out of pre. And that's kind of nice. Those shoulder pads just run right up along under there. And they do spin all the way around. And we do have pinned double jointed knees, so we do have that insane double leg articulation, so you can get way past 90. You see how far his leg goes down. Doesn't go up very much. So I'll straighten his leg back out here. So it goes down quite a bit, but it doesn't want to go up just due to sculpt. Just starts running, the boot starts running into the shin guard here. Ashley, what are you doing? So just right up in there, it kind of butts in there, so you can't get any further than that. And the other thing that's very well known about these figures' feet is they're just very small. So it's going to make this figure very top heavy. But the mold itself is not bad. Like, this is a decent sculpt. The gauntlets look cool. Not bad, man. Really not bad. He does come with 2 trigger fingers, so that's cool. That's a trigger finger, right? Yep, trigger finger, yep. We do have some thigh swivel here, which I am a fan of. I dig my thigh swivel. And the way that this holster just covers right over, so just slides right over the top of the thigh here. And we don't really have any back and forth or ab crunch. But he does have some good turning. You can spin them all the way if you'd like. And we got some rockers. Forgot to mention the rockers. So good rockers on it, but get into not really that great of a split. Just due to sculpt mold. Kind of butts in right here, right up against the belt. And he's got some decent kickback. Here, let's stand him up. And he's got some decent kickback. That's very decent kickback. He can kick out about like that. Yeah. Got some no head tilt. But we do get side to side. He can spin 360. And he can look up and down. So that's nice. So you can put him on a flight stand and simulate him taking off, you know. That's kind of nice. So he does go up about that far. He can look down quite a bit too. Nice. Goes up quite a bit. Single joint peg, obviously, in the base of the skull here. And man, like, you know, nothing crazy about articulation. That's pretty much it for this guy. Not really. You're not really going to get this figure in many dynamic poses. I mean, this is a almost 10-year-old body mold. So see how look at how big those joints are, how long they are, and then look how short the elbows are. Just so small. I mean, that's it. That's all you're getting right there. That's all you get. Yeah, and just be careful when you're dealing with this. Be careful with the gauntlet swivel, because these hoses, they do move, and just kind of get a real quick zoom on that so y'all can see. So they are malleable, but you can see if you're not careful, you probably could pull that over time, So, but yeah, so I don't understand why they didn't put this guy on the new Death Watch body, because the Death Watch Mandalorian is the best Mandalorian in the line, other than, I keep saying it, the new Mando, which I don't have yet. I'm looking forward to working on getting him. But as far as sculpt goes, man, like, look at the belt. This is not a bad mold at all. Well, let me say this. This is a terrible mold, but great sculpting. But you could even argue terrible sculpting too, because that has to play into, articulation as well. But just like the pouches here, the belt looks great. The paint on this guy is really not bad either. That blue and this nice silver. Got the silver on the holsters too, and the knees. Shin guards, little boot guards. The folds and creases in the pants look pretty cool, pretty nice. Very cool gauntlet sculpt right here. I mean, not a bad face sculpt at all. This is a pretty good face sculpt, in my opinion. I dig it. Got Pre with his helmet on here, and it popped on really nicely. Fits him very snug. Doesn't even want to fall off or shake off or anything. Blasters fit perfect. Very tight, perfect fit right into the holster. I mean, perfect. Like a glove. It's not going anywhere either. So take this one, his 35 blaster. And I mean, it's very snug. And it's not going anywhere, dude. So that's very nice. And like I said, the helmet snapped on very good, no trouble. And with most Black Series, you can always take the blade out of the hilt, and you can actually store the Darksaber hilt. It goes right here in this hook, and you can actually, his jetpack has weapon storage, so you can have the Darksaber hanging right here on his jetpack. So also very cool little detail. Now you damn well know I was about to start this side by side with Clone Wars Maul, Season 7 Clone Wars Maul, and dude, this is sick. I love seeing them together, dude. It looks so badass. Maybe what they should have done is included an extra decapitate. Well, I guess you could pop that head off and reenact. I'm just talking shit, but man, it just looks so dope. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Here he is next to the Count of Sereno, Count Dooku. Here he is next to the Archive Commander Cody. Here's Pre Vizsla next to the Dark Trooper for the Mandalorian. Here he is next to the Death Watch Trooper, which is the body that they should have used for him. And to send us off, we got the Mandalorian and Grogu next to Pre Vizsla. So to end things off here, I just wanted to throw him on this flight stand. And dude, this is probably how I'm going to end up displaying him. He looks freaking sick, man. These blast effects are from the Dark Trooper, from the Mandalorian, and they peg into the jetpack perfectly. I actually previously had my Death Watch Mando on this stand with those same blast effects, which I got the Dark Trooper at Entertainment Earth for I got 8 of them for like 70 something bucks, like $77 a piece, something like that. And they were running a deal on them, so I got them for pretty cheap. They were like $10 and some change a piece. The way that it worked out, you know what? I think it was like 80 something, maybe like 81 or 82 bucks, something like that. I can't remember, but super happy that my wife picked this guy up, because I held off for the longest time just because people were talking about how he couldn't stand talking shit about the old Jango body. We all know about it, but it needs to be talked about. It's important. It's a part of the figure, and so people really do care about that. But I have to say, man, if you see this figure, I think you should pick him up. I think he's totally worth it. Even though it's kind of BS that Hasbro used this 8-year-old mold from 2016, 2015, whenever Jango came out. It should have been on the Death Watch body, and this would have made this figure a complete 10, man, in my opinion. Because right now, this is minus articulation with the paint and the look and just the execution of the face sculpt and all that. I don't know. I'd give this figure like a good 6 or 7, maybe even an 8. I really dig it, man. But if it was on the Mando, on the Death Watch Mando body, straight up 10, man. 10 out of 10, straight banger, dude. But I don't know, man. I'm really glad that my wife picked this up for me, and I hate that I held off on it so long. And maybe this video can kind of change your mind or steer you in the direction that after seeing my video, you'll be like, well, damn, maybe it is worth having on the shelf. I'll just get honestly, man, just have a little stand or something ready. Get a little flight stand like this. I have a review on these stands. They're like a brand called Yocool off Amazon. It was 6 stands for like 21 bucks, and they're very sturdy stands. For as cheap as they are, they were, for the way it works out, it's under $4 a piece. But get you some figure stands or some flight stands, and this figure will just pop on your shelf, man. And you gotta have them in the Clone Wars section. Like, it's pre-Vizsla, dude. You gotta, like, honestly, man. Hold on a second. Like, dude, these two fighting like they're about to go at it. Come on, man. Like, what? Dude, it would just be so perfect. And the fact that we finally have this figure in the line is just great. Sorry, I'm putting my maul back. So, this wraps it up for this review. I really appreciate y'all watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe. I have a lot of Black Series videos and other Star Wars content. And I recommend this figure, man. I already said all the pros and cons about it. I said everything that I don't like about it. The fresh scar. The scar looks a little too fresh on the face mold. Obviously, the old body, not going to get into that again. I've said enough about that. But other than that, dude, this is an awesome figure, man. This is how he's going to be on my shelf, and I can't wait to make some room in for him on the Clone Wars section of my shelf. And oh, dude, I'm surprisingly pleased with this figure. I am very surprisingly pleased. And dude, honestly, just watching it, just looking at it through my phone and seeing it in person, like, it just looks fantastic. So, like I said, man, if you see this figure in the wild or you see them available in stock online for a good price, just pull the trigger, dude. Or chick, dudette. But totally worth it, dude. So that wraps up this review. Leave me a like, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, this has been the Stone Mando. May the Force be with you.